This anymore. I'm having a heart attack. What is this? Positive news? When was the last time we were here reacting and announcing positive news? I don't know. I mean, if you know, count the days, count the weeks, because Dybala has basically agreed to renew his contract. The meetings between Pinto and his agents this week, yesterday and today, have been exceptionally positive, and his agents are basically done. The agreement is done. He's going to sign it until 2026. The official statement is going to come after July 31st because that's when the release clause expires. So logically, the official statement of this will come after the 31st of July. But anyways, we're here speaking about this. I do also want to dedicate a few minutes because we don't only have this positive news, we also have a little, I'm going to call it a little positive news, because Roma and Real Madrid have found a base agreement over the player, an academy, a Real Madrid academy player called Yulen Guerrero. So we are going to speak about that because an agreement has been found between us and Real Madrid. And yeah, so let's call them two breaking news. I'm going to call them breaking news because the last time I used the motto breaking news, World War II just ended. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, Dybala has been our source of oxygen for the entire season. So Dybala extending his contract, in my vision of our transfer window, is literally like buying a new player. Because of how important he is, and because how he fits in this system, and yeah, I mean, it's just so big. It's just so massive. Anyways, let's start this stream with yesterday evening, quite late actually, and then retweeted this morning. Nicolas Schira, a Serie A transfer market expert, tweeted this. This was this morning. Paulo Dybala is getting closer to extend his contract with AS Roma until 2026, with option for 2027, with an increase in salary to 6 million per year plus 1.5 million as bonuses. La Joya is considered a key player for Mourinho, and he is very happy at Roma. His agent, Jorge Antun, is at work with Thiago Pinto. So this was tweeted this morning, literally 1 hour ago. We have reports saying that basically an agreement has been found between Pinto and his agents, and that Dybala is ready to put ink on paper and handcuff himself to this team for at least 3 more years, with an option until 2027. That's a long contract. I know contracts don't always get respected, but this is big. And the big thing about this is not him extending his contract. The big thing about this is related to the release clause. And this is exactly what I want to dig into. Because as much as we have the specifics of the deal, so basically the specifics is 4-year contract with an option, 3-year contract with a 4th year option. And his salary is now 6 million plus 1.5 as bonuses. So if he achieves those bonuses, his salary would be 7.5 million. He would clearly be the highest paid player in this team. Rightly so. But we still don't have details on the release clause. Now, what I suspect is this. What I suspect happened is the Fredkins told Pinto to tell Dybala's agents this. I am going to give him a big wage increase, but you need to accept that we have to eliminate that release clause from your contract. That is what I suspect happened. Because normally in these negotiations, especially when there are negotiations between a player and the board of a player and the team where a player absolutely loves himself, Dybala is loving his life at Roma. So normally what happens in negotiations between a player and the team which the player currently plays in and is currently enjoying his life in, what normally happens in these negotiations is that a lot of compromises happen. So I think the biggest compromise that was found in this meeting was, I'm going to give you a higher wage, a pretty higher wage, because if you successfully fulfill all of your bonuses, your salary would be 7.5 million per year. That is clearly the highest one in your team. However, by doing that, you need to accept that we need to eliminate the release clause from your contract. And we still don't have a confirmation about this. This is just what I suspect happened, and yeah, it was so important. It was so important to eliminate that release clause. It was vital because we've seen it over the course of this entire transfer window. Chelsea want to trigger that release clause. United want to trigger that release clause. And the big reason, in fact, not the big reason, the only reason why Dybala stayed here is because he wanted to stay here. If the situation was a different situation, in a sense that Dybala didn't want to stay here, those teams would have triggered that release clause in a matter of seconds. For a team like Chelsea or a team like United to trigger a 12 million release clause is nothing. Those teams could have sealed the Dybala deal in literally a matter of seconds. The big push factor which kept them away was his desire to stay and his desire to keep on playing with Roma. If his desire wasn't this, then Dybala would not be a Roma player right now at time of speaking. So that's important to say. So eliminating that release clause is the most vital thing to do, and is going to be the most important thing to do as an outcome of these meetings, because especially in terms of stability, the players know that Dybala is the center of their team. Everybody around Roma, including Mourinho, knows that Dybala is the biggest player in our team. Starting a season with Dybala having such a low release clause is not good for the environment. It's not good for the other players around him. So him extending the contract is important also in terms of stability of the team, because he's clearly our biggest player. And if our biggest player is running out of contract, that creates a bad vibe around the others, among the other players. Anyways, what I said at the start, I'm going to repeat it in case people missed it. The official statement, according to some sources, is going to come after the 31st of July because of some bureaucratic reasons. In his previous contract, his release clause, this 12 million release clause, said to be expired by the 31st of July. So technically, his release clause is still valid for 6 more days. And Roma's going to wait these 6 more days to continue maybe finding more little details of this agreement between Pinto and his agents, but also in terms of bureaucratic reasons. So don't expect an official statement before the 31st of July, because that's not going to happen. Obviously, this has been reported by Nicolo Schira. Nicolo Schira isn't Fabrizio Romano or Gianluca Di Marzio, but Nicolo Schira is a massive Serie A transfer market expert. So yeah, I trust him, and we shall be happy about this. We shall be happy about this because, as I said, the last time we read positive news was quite a long while ago. Anyways, some people are saying to check West Ham Zone on Twitter because apparently West Ham have opened up for a loan. Let's see. West Ham Zone. Never heard of them. Let's check. West Ham Zone. West Ham Fan Zone. I don't see anything. I see nothing about Scamacca. If anybody wants to copy and paste what they tweeted in the chat, feel free to do so, because I don't see anything. I'd love to see something, but I can't see anything. I mean, pop the actual Twitter account in the chat, and we'll check it. Anyways, the second good news is coming from Spain. I mean, this is a good news in terms of our future. It's not something which maybe we should have prioritized now, but it's something which we've almost sealed, and we're gonna get it in a second. We're gonna speak about it now. So basically, Roma and Real Madrid have found an agreement over the permanent move from of Yulen Guerrero, a Real Madrid youth player, to Roma. This has been reported by Relevo, which is a Spanish media sports center, which is pretty reliable. And it also has been reported by Matteo Moretto. Now, Matteo Moretto is somebody who works with Fabrizio Romano. He is an Italian journalist who works in Spain and is a La Liga transfer market expert. He has said that Real Madrid and Roma have found an initial agreement over the move of young player Yulen Guerrero, son of Athletic Bilbao's legend Guerrero. He is 19 years old, he's a creative midfielder, he's coming from a season where he played 14 games and scored 8 goals. He's the number 10 of the youth Spanish national team, and he's also the captain of the youth Spanish national team. All of these things are interesting, and I am glad I'm reading about this, because we normally aren't the best of teams when it comes to scouting. So I'm glad about this, but obviously the biggest question here is, and this is a common sense question. He's 19 years old, and I'm not here in a position to say he's terrible, he is going to become the new gem. You just can't, because at 19 years of age, you're too young to do that, and especially because and I suspect everybody here, has never seen him play. However, the big question which pops up in your mind is this. If he is the number 10 of the Spanish youth national team, and if he is a Real Madrid youth player who has scored 8 goals in 14 games this season, why the hell would Real Madrid release him? I mean, Real Madrid are the most advanced team in the world in terms of finances, in terms of history, in terms of trophies, in terms of scouting as well. So why would the Real Madrid scouting department release a potential gem? Now again, I want to clarify something. A player which Real Madrid release doesn't necessarily mean that is going to be a failure or a flop in a team like Roma. Because, you know, people who compare the system of football of a team like Real Madrid to a team like Roma, you can't do that. It's uncomparable. You know, Real Madrid is 100 times more advanced than Roma. So a player which they discard and a player which they release doesn't necessarily mean that is going to be a bad player for us. We are in need of a development of our scouting department. We are in need of a jump and step up from our scouts, because we've been extremely poor, and there are opponents, competitors around us in our own league which are doing a far better job. You look at Napoli, you look at Milan, they're doing better than us. So we have to kind of see a good evolution of our scouting department. With that being said, he's going to be a futuristic signing. He's going to start with the academy and then make his way to the first team. And yeah, I think that's important. You know, he's a creative midfielder. We lack this world where we kind of score goals. We've been lacking scoring goals in the past season. So growing and planting the seeds of players who can become good creative midfielders is always good. And let's not forget that yes, nobody's ever seen him play. Yes, he's 19 years old. Nobody can criticize him. Nobody can hype him up. But let's not forget that he is coming from the Real Madrid academy. Real Madrid is, as I just said, the best team in the world. Real Madrid have got one of the best youth teams in the world, so he is always a player who's coming from the Real Madrid youth team. This is not me trying to hype him up. This is just me saying he is coming from the biggest team in the world. So yeah, that's good news. I'm not sure if he's going to directly come this season, or maybe starting from next season. That I don't know. Maybe he's gonna come this season. But yeah, an agreement has been found between us and Real Madrid. Real Madrid standards are much higher than Roma. Exactly, mate. Spot on. So yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Any news about Scamacca? People are saying to check the link above. Where is the link above? I have no link above, mate. If somebody can pop the name of the Twitter account in the chat, I can go check. But Simon, out of 1 to 10, how would you rate El Shaarawy Italian? El Shaarawy's Italian? 10. He's Italian, mate. I'm honestly happy with their transfer move. Just need a striker and we're good. We need a striker, we need a box-to-box mid, and then the base is done. Then we can always improve, get a left back, get a new goalkeeper, but the base is done after we get a striker and a box-to-box mid. Simon, what do you think about Anthony Martial as a backup striker? Good player, but very injury prone. I would take him as second striker, never as first. So yeah, I mean, again, I'd love to check what this West Ham zone has to say. Hang on, let's try to do this. Let's do this. Let's try typing Scamacca on Twitter. Maybe we've got some... All right, I see it. 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 I get what you guys are saying. We have this Twitter account called Team Talk is saying West Ham have accepted an initial loan offer from Roma for striker Gianluca Scamacca as per a report. The deal includes the obligation for Roma to buy the Italian for £17 to £80 million in 2024. This is coming from Team Talk. They've got 90.4k followers on Twitter. That's not bad. Football transfer gossip and rumours, breaking news, stats, exclusive features and more. That's not bad. However, I'm not going to base my reliability on that. I'm still expecting Fabrizio or Gianluca to post that. If that is true, I think today's been a successful day, if that's true. Dybala's new contract, Scamacca, maybe they've accepted it. I don't know. But updates are going to follow. We need to end this Scamacca deal soon. I did a video on Scamacca covering his interview, which he released today. So go check that. Go smash the like button on that. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. We've got a friendly game tomorrow. I don't know if I can do a live watch along. I'm going to try my best. But otherwise, I'm going to do a match reaction. The second the match ends. So I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It supports this community a lot. Share the link of this channel with your families and friends. Let's make it grow. Let's make our way to 10k. Let's make Roma grow worldwide. And yeah, pop your opinions on the Dybala new contract and this Real Madrid talent in the comments below. I'll be very curious to read and respond to all of your comments. And I'll catch you there very soon. Hopefully we'll end this Scamacca deal soon. See you all, and take care.